Hi, this is Swapnil Bhartiya, and in this special edition of TFiR Insights for Open Mainframe Summit, today we have with us Milan Shetti, President of Z Systems Business Unit at Rocket Software. Milan, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Since you are relatively new to the mainframe industry, tell us a bit about what is your, as an outsider, what has been your observation of the project?
Yeah, it's true. I'm new, relatively new to the mainframe industry, but I'm been doing open source for quite some time, both academically as well as professionally, for over 20 years, from Java, Linux, OpenStack, Hadoop, and many such projects. And one of the things which I've learned, both being as a technical leader as well as a professional business leader in the enterprise data center space, both for compute, networking, storage, as well as the Java world. Here's one thing which I've learned, Swapnil, about cloud. And that one big learning I had was and is cloud is about experiences and not about destination. So that is a very key learning which I had. And when I look at the Open Mainframe Project, what I see is that being a cornerstone project to deliver cloud experience to mainframe. And that is pretty fascinating. I'm super impressed with the community around the Open Mainframe Project and also the contributions on so many software packages which are already available, that it's impressive. Arguably, what I would say is that the Open Mainframe Project has and is delivering the cloud-like experience to mainframe, and very, very impressive on what this open community has done so far.
How would you define the cloud experience? What is cloud experience, and how does Open Mainframe Project kind of brings that cloud experience to mainframe?
Yeah, it's a great point. It got me thinking about, there is a saying in computer science which says, which goes like this: you can solve any, if not most, problems by having another layer of abstraction. And when I look at the Open Mainframe Project, what I see is that being the abstraction layer for mainframe to deliver that cloud-like experience. Now, if you take a step back and look at how the cloud is built and delivered, there are a lot of analogies with whether the public cloud providers, the AWSs, the Google Clouds, or the Microsoft Azures. What have they done? If you think about it, right, the hardware configurations are predefined. The software technologies, such as the DynamoDB for AWS, is proprietary. The Bigtable, which is the big database which runs all of the Google applications, that is proprietary as well. So you can't choose the hardware, you can't choose the software stack and everything. But what the cloud world did, the public cloud world did, was they delivered this easy experience not only for the application developers but also the operators. So what they did was they created this level of and layer of abstraction, back to the computer science analogy about you can solve most problems by a layer of abstraction. That's what they did. And what they did around that is they built a community, and they built the experience which was easy to deliver. Now, if you look at what Open Mainframe Project is doing, it's delivering that degree of abstraction to the mainframe, so the app developers can come around it. The operators also have their life easier by being able to deliver it. That to me is very analogous. So, in fact, what you can argue is, if you look at the proprietary nature of the software and the inflexibility of the hardware configurations of the public cloud, what I would argue is, for most developers, the public cloud providers are nothing but mainframe from a hardware and a software standpoint. And a corollary to that argument would be that by delivering a better experience for mainframe, and which is what this layer of abstraction of open source project provides, you can argue that mainframe is a secure public cloud. So there is a lot of analogous stuff on what the big public cloud providers have provided, is what the open source and Open Mainframe project is doing for mainframe, which is exciting.
If you look at mainframe, it's an old technology. So why should today's application developer care about it? And what does kind of Open Mainframe mean to them?
Yeah, see, one of the things which mainframe is, the things which are mainframe are known for are security, availability, and high transaction processing. That is unparalleled, which is the reason why it's still used by mission critical applications in the financial services industry, in the healthcare industry, and such. So those attributes are unique and very important. The security aspect of it, the high transaction processing aspect of it, and also the availability aspect of it. Now, with the experience of it being simple to use, easy to use, and that level of abstractions, imagine the world for the app developer, right? They could do and test and dev on the public cloud. And when they go into what mainframes are known for, the system of record, and there is no argument around where are the system of records. That is all mainframe because of the characteristics and the attributes which I mentioned around security, availability, and high transaction processing, right? So if you are an app developer, and whether it's the AWS's or the Google's or the Microsoft Azure and the mainframe, if that experience of building, deploying, and operating an environment is the same or similar, you could use public cloud to do test dev. And when time comes for deployment and production, seamlessly launch your application on where the system of record is, which is your mainframe. And that is very useful, and that is very critical. Like, I'll give an example of some of the porting activities which have happened in the Open Mainframe project, right? MongoDB. It's you can have your system of record on mainframe on DB2 databases or MongoDB. MongoDB also runs on any of the public cloud providers. So just to give an example, if you're an app developer and you got the same experience and same cloud experience, whether it's public cloud or your mainframe, then you have that flexibility on where do you go to production with your system of record. And that seamless abstraction which the Open Mainframe project provides is I think priceless, because you get the best of the both worlds. Start your test and dev on the public cloud and go to production where your system of record, all of the, whether it's the regulations or whether it's the mission critical aspect of it, they can deploy it. So that degree of modernization is, I think, very critical.
Let's talk about Rocket Software. Now, Rocket Software has played a very critical role in kind of making mainframe more appealing to modern developers. Can you talk a bit about the contributions that Rocket Software has made to the Open Mainframe project?
Yeah, it's Rocket Software has been the chosen IBM partner for doing most of the porting exercises since 2013. So this is something which has been going on, both Rocket Software in terms of creating the community, curating the community, and also contributing code has been going on with from 2013, partnering with IBM and being their chosen partner around these porting exercises. So right from the foundation of the open source activities, so the things which Rocket Software has delivered already in this curated open source community, from foundational things such as open system characters, very foundational things like ASCII, UTF-8, all of those foundational characteristics, those were delivered by, and embracing those was done by Rocket Software. And also porting for things such as Bash and Python were also delivered in the Open mainframe community by Rocket Software. So those were very foundational aspect. And then there are innovation aspect, which Rocket Software has partnered with and contributed to. From there, there is a version latency which exists in the mainframe world. If you have, people don't upgrade much, but when you are working on older versions, somebody still has to do the porting of the older versions, or as security vulnerabilities do creep in. Rocket Software has contributed that. So version, one of the pillars of Rocket Software's delivery has been the making sure that there is no version latency in the mainframe. So check that box. And also very recently, using secure and scalable delivery mechanism for all of the open source tools using Conda is something which very recently Rocket Software has contributed. So it's a long history, 7+ year of history of contributing to the community, curating the community, and also contributing code. Rocket Software has been hand in hand and been a premier partner of IBM in delivering those technologies.
What kind of future do you see for Open Mainframe Project? As you know, as you already talked about when you talk about cloud and everything else, it's going to play a very critical role. So talk about that a bit.
Yeah, it's I think the last 7 years of Open Mainframe Project has been around laying the foundation, creating the community, and also starting to innovate. And I think where this innovation trajectory, and I think now that the foundation has been laid, as well as the core components of the technology such as MongoDB and a bunch of other open source projects, the tools which are available for public cloud are also available now on the through the Open Mainframe Project, Zoe, and some of the user experience and the user interfaces. I think the innovation trajectory is going to speed up in the Open Mainframe projects. And what do we expect to see are probably two new pillars which are going to emerge in the Open Mainframe projects. The one is around hybrid cloud, which is about bringing the workload closer to the data rather than moving the data to the workload. And I think that is something which we're going to see more and more of, more tool chain, more software technologies, more workflow between the public cloud providers and the Open Mainframe users around hybrid cloud, with the core mission being how do you bring workload to the data rather than data to the workload. So that's going to be an innovation trajectory which I think is going to keep on progressing for the next 5, 7, 10 years, because there's a lot of innovative approach which can be done there. That's one area that is around the hybrid cloud and moving workload closer to the data is what we're going to see, the range of innovation we're going to see that. The second range of innovation, and again, thanks to all of the foundations and the contributions already made around the tool chain, we're going to see is around AI-based operations. Using machine learning and some of the artificial intelligence techniques, and the open source community is very active in the artificial intelligence and the AI part of it. We will see the blending and the merging of some of those capabilities from the several Linux Foundation initiatives around that. So using AI and artificial intelligence and machine learning to make the operator's life easier. So is also going to be something which you're going to see an innovation vector and an innovation trajectory which is happening. So what I see from a future standpoint, given and coming from the hybrid cloud world into the mainframe world, what I see is an fast changing, adopting innovation trajectory around hybrid cloud and use of AI for the operators. So you got the app developers and also the operators using and adopting more the Open Mainframe Project.
Milan, thank you so much for taking your time out and talking about not only Open Mainframe, but Mainframe and also the contribution that Rocket Software is making. I'm excited about the upcoming summit. It's going to be virtual. I wish it was in person so we could all meet each other again. But we should, when we are handed lemon, let's make lemonade. But I'm hopeful that next year we will do it in person. Once again, thank you for your time today.
Oh, thank you very much, Swapnil, and thanks for having me. This has been an pleasure participating in this interview, and also looking forward to the virtual Open Mainframe Summit next week.